Coming up on 12 News at noon, a confirmed case of measles in Otsego County has health officials looking for possible exposures. Plus, the Tupac murder trial takes a dramatic turn as jurors hear explosive testimony about gang violence and see graphic evidence from the rapper's death. Those stories and more on 12 News at noon.
From WBNG, the Southern Tier's #1 local news. This is 12 News at noon.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for being here with us for 12 News at noon. I'm Jess Liptzin. Otsego County health officials are investigating a confirmed case of measles in an unvaccinated resident who is recovering at home. The Otsego County Department of Health is working to identify and notify anyone who may have been exposed to measles. Measles is highly contagious and can cause serious complications, especially in young children and other high-risk groups. Health officials say the risk is low for people who are fully vaccinated and are urging residents to check their MMR vaccination records. Symptoms can include high fever, cough, runny nose, red or watery eyes, and a red blotchy rash. Anyone who believes they may have been exposed should contact their health care provider or the Otsego County Department of Health for guidance. A domestic violence victim can walk away from a strangulation with no visible injuries and still be at risk. Officials say symptoms can take up to 72 hours to appear. Earlier this month, 12 News covered a story about Broome County officials announcing the launch of a new program aimed at cracking down on strangulation cases around the area. Now Broome County is taking a closer look at how EMS responds to these cases and how providers can recognize what is not always obvious.
In situations where you're dealing with non-fatal domestic violence, intimate violence, that there is that additional side of being compassionate, non-biased, and saying,
I don't know what you're going through, but we want to be here to support you, and that there is an entire system that is here to support you. So the actions that EMS takes is but one part of a very large mechanism that's in place.
On our 5 a.m. show Friday, Gabby Womack will show us how this new awareness is changing the way first responders approach these calls and how a domestic violence shelter says awareness is making a big difference. Tuesday was the second day of the Las Vegas murder trial of Dwayne Keefe D. Davis. He's charged with murder in connection with the killing of Tupac Shakur in 1996. James McDonald ran security at a Las Vegas night spot operated by Death Row Records co-founder Marion Suge Knight. Prosecutors say Shakur's killing was part of an exchange of violence between the Crips and Bloods street gangs revolving around Davis's nephew. McDonald gave candid testimony about violence between the two gangs. He also provided the biggest fireworks so far in the trial, at one point eliciting laughter in the courtroom.
Do you know how many people were on the payroll that night from your security team?
Y'all do paperwork different than we did. Our paperwork was what they call under the table.
Jurors also heard testimony from Reggie Wright Jr., the official head of Death Row Records security at the time of Shakur's killing. Jurors also saw autopsy photos. Tuesday, one showed the green bag that held Shakur's body. Another showed a bullet fragment removed from his body. Two of Shakur's family members left the courtroom before the most graphic visuals were displayed. We're learning new details about the death of Hayden Panettiere. The 36-year-old actor and mother was found unresponsive in Greenville, South Carolina over the weekend. According to a police report, we now know who was with Panettiere when she died and what officers found when they arrived on scene. Mark Strassman has the story.
A newly released, heavily redacted police report reveals more information about Hayden Panettiere's final moments on Sunday. According to police, Panettiere's on-and-off boyfriend Brian Hickerson and his brother Zach were inside the Greenville, South Carolina apartment and called 911.
CPR is in progress.
In the incident report, the officer described the brother to be very emotional, while Brian Hickerson did not become emotional until EMS declared her officially deceased. The official cause of death is still unclear, but radio chatter mentioned the word overdose.
Easley Bridge Road overdose.
At some point, Hickerson showed the officer the bag of medication that Panettiere had been taking. Details of those medications are redacted. Panettiere and Hickerson had a tumultuous relationship. She wrote about it in her memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning. In 2021, he was sentenced to 45 days in prison for domestic violence. In a recent podcast, she read from her journal about the abuse.
I realized that I was more afraid of being alone than being abused. It's something I used to do when I was a kid.
The former child star became a household name on shows like Nashville, and she's been candid about her issues with mental health and substance abuse. But lately, she seemed to have turned a corner.
I finally feel like I have shaken off all of this darkness and this negativity.
Mark Strassman, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Tennis player Nick Kyrgios is in trouble, and not for an on-the-court temper tantrum. The 31-year-old Australian tested positive for cocaine use. That resulted in a provisional suspension by the International Tennis Integrity Agency. Kyrgios can appeal, but that doesn't seem likely because he more or less admitted to it on social media. He posted an apology on Instagram and said he's stepping out of the spotlight and going dark online for 4 weeks. He said he doesn't make excuses, but notes the toll of injuries the past couple of years. Kyrgios reached the Wimbledon final in 2022. This year, he lost in the first round while playing doubles after making the tournament on a wild card. Amazon Prime is expanding its air drone delivery service. The online retail giant says nearly 500 cities and towns should have the service by the end of the year. Right now, less than 100 cities are serviced. Items have to be 5 pounds or less and fit inside a large shoebox that can be delivered by drone. Amazon says more than 60% of items ordered by customers fit into that category. The company says orders can arrive in as fast as 30 minutes, with most within 60 minutes after checking out. Prime members will be able to access the service for free on orders of $50 or more. Orders under $50 will cost $2.99 for delivery. Customers without a Prime membership will pay $4.99. The growing controversy over AI data centers is reaching a boiling point in Pennsylvania. In a major reversal, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro signed an executive order Tuesday, potentially restricting the development of data centers in the state. The governor says it establishes the nation's strictest guardrails on sites, requiring developers to be transparent with local communities and protect consumers by footing the bill for all electricity costs.
I want to make sure that if a developer is coming here to Pennsylvania, they respect the will of the people. They respect our communities, and they work with us, not against us. And this executive order now requires them to work with us. It levels the playing field, and it puts the people before those powerful developers.
Under the executive order, local communities would also approve a data center project before construction can begin, and developers must hire locally. Shapiro is considered to be a potential Democratic presidential candidate in 2028. A federal trial that could reshape social media is underway in California. A handful of states are suing Meta, accusing the company behind Facebook and Instagram of intentionally designing a product that's addictive to children. Meta denies the allegations. Not only are the states demanding billions in damages, but also significant changes. Today, a former Meta executive is expected back on the stand. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest.
In a California federal court, the future of the nation's largest social media company is on the line.
When my daughter was struggling, it became Meta's bottom line.
Parents unfurled a banner filled with names of children they say died because of harms linked to Meta's social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram.
Meta targeted ads at teenage girls when they showed signs of being in a vulnerable emotional state.
29 states are suing the social media juggernaut, some claiming its platforms are designed to hook kids, despite the companies saying otherwise.
Our investigation even found instances where the company acknowledged internally that it had misled the public.
Meta has denied the allegations. Company attorney Paul Schmidt said research does not support claims that social media harms adolescents' well-being and disputed claims of addiction. The states are seeking up to $1.4 trillion in penalties and demanding changes, like ending infinite scroll, banning beauty filters, and increasing age limit enforcement. The company was ordered to pay hundreds of millions in a similar case out of New Mexico, focused on Meta's algorithm rather than the content others post.
They have been winning cases against Meta because of this shift, because yes, these platforms were built to keep you engaged. That's part of it. That's why the algorithms show you more of what you like.
Meta says it has worked to improve safety on the platforms. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio imposed sanctions against 2 international criminal court officials on Tuesday. This comes amid his campaign to dismantle the court. Rubio announced sanctions against the ICC president and a senior trial lawyer. Rubio said the two officials had directly engaged in efforts to investigate, arrest, and prosecute officials who government has not consented to ICC jurisdiction. The Trump administration has imposed a slew of sanctions against ICC officials for attempts to investigate the United States and Israel. Since neither of those countries are members of the ICC, they are not subject to its authority. Five-time Grammy winner Angelique Kidjo is making history with her new star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. This ceremony with actor Willem Dafoe and Harvey Mason Jr. Tuesday makes her the first African musician and first black African to receive the honor. Her star is the Walk's 2,854th. It's in the category of recording.
My father always used to say, if your dreams are not big enough, shut up. And I would look at my dad and say, what do you mean? He said, you'll figure it out. Think big, be humble, and work your heart out. I'm there in the
Kidjo is from West African nation of Benin. Her childhood shapes her music as she continues her 4-decade career. Well, a new vaccine to protect against skin cancer could be hitting the markets. Coming up on 12 News at noon, we take a look at the new medicine Moderna is putting out. But first, we're taking a look outside with the Skycam on the Security Mutual Life Building at downtown Binghamton this afternoon. We have your full weather forecast coming up after the break.
At Window World, we know you take saving seriously. So do we, which is why we offer you the chance to save now and save later on your home renovations. Upgrade your whole house and save now with guaranteed low pricing on our energy-efficient exterior remodeling solutions. Save later with lower energy bills. Plus, for a limited time, save even more with a federal energy tax credit on qualifying windows and doors. At America's largest exterior remodeler, there are so many ways to save. Call, click, or visit Window World to start saving today.
Before I got my hybrid smile, it was very difficult to go out. Didn't feel like myself for the last year and a half.
At Dental Solutions of Binghamton, we use advanced technology such as robotic surgery, photogrammetry, and IV sedation to ensure the best patient outcomes. Every day, we are transforming lives through patient-centered care. Let Dental Solutions of Binghamton be your solution.
I got my smile back thanks to Dr. Sambursky.
Under Kathy Hochul, New York leads the nation in highest taxes and ranks near dead last in affordability.
Bruce Blakeman on affordability.
While you struggle to afford groceries, gas, and rent, Kathy Hochul spent billions of your tax dollars on illegal migrants. Let's face it, we can't afford 4 more years of Kathy Hochul. As governor, I will cut taxes, slash utility bills in half, and bring jobs back to New York.
Bruce Blakeman for a better New York.
You came here for one thing, but then the kids made some new friends. You found your kind of fun, and the rides, you tried them all, twice. And somewhere between the big wins and the blue ribbons, the best day ever just happened. 50 county and local fairs across New York. Find the one near you. FindYourFair.com.
Station 51. Station 51. We have an emergency. Television is in dire need of help.
Why don't you just call a television repairman?
You just can't let this machinery intimidate you.
Emergency. Paramedics Johnny Gage and Roy DeSoto. Please report to ETV immediately. Dr. Brackett, Dr. Early, and Nurse McCall are awaiting your arrival.
All right. We'll be there in a second.
Emergency.
Weekdays on Binghamton's Me TV.
Watch me weeknights here on 12 News right at 4 o'clock.
Just getting out the door before school can be a tough task, but making sure your student can power through the day doesn't have to be hard.
What we want to make sure is that it has balance and some good protein in it to help get them to maybe the next snack or that next lunch.
Catherine Sherry with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says if your child doesn't enjoy eating first thing in the morning, that's okay. The meal doesn't have to be large. She says to just give them some sort of protein and a carb that can help them kick off the school day.
That would be something like a whole wheat piece of toast with some peanut butter, maybe some hummus on there.
Other simple and effective healthy breakfast ideas, Greek yogurt, add berries and nuts or seeds. Sherry says you can also mix in peanut butter for another pop of protein or a little honey or maple syrup. Just limit the overall sugar content.
A breakfast also doesn't just have to be breakfast food. It can be leftover dinner. We could have a turkey wrap. We could have a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Sherry says breakfast pizzas can also be a hit. Whole wheat tortilla, a little sauce, maybe some leftover beans or chicken from the night before, and pop it in the oven to warm it up. Breakfast burritos are also good on the go. Pack them with eggs, veggies, avocado, and cheese. And she says to make them ahead of time.
Freeze them, and that's something quick and easy that we've made in bulk and we can have multiple times throughout the week.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Welcome back. A new vaccine appears to have the revolutionary ability to prevent the reoccurrences of the deadliest form of skin cancer. Moderna and Merck say it's for people who've had melanoma. They cite stage 3 trial results suggesting the vaccine can stop the disease from coming back or spreading. The companies say the vaccine is individualized. It uses the same mRNA technology behind certain coronavirus vaccines. Well, if you missed our most recent episode of Docs on Call that aired yesterday during Around the Tiers, here's a quick look. I'm Jess Liptzin here with another segment of Docs on Call, joined by Dr. Kate McGinley and nurse practitioner Michelle Traverse. Thanks, guys, so much for being here.
Thanks for having us. Happy to be here.
What is genetic testing, and how does that kind of help a doctor understand certain urological cancers like prostate or testicular?
Genetic testing involves evaluating the underlying DNA. There are certain changes that can happen in DNA that predispose people to the development of cancers. Some of those cancers include things like bladder and prostate and kidney cancers.
We inherit our genetic makeup from our parents, and we can think of our genes as little instruction manuals, basically, and they tell our bodies how to stay healthy, how to repair, how to grow. And if you inherit a change, those changes can increase your risks for certain kinds of cancers. It really just depends on the gene.
Ideally, we want to be able to identify people who are at highest risk of developing cancer before they even develop that disease. It's so important that we offer these services, and we're very excited because we just launched our hereditary cancer risk clinic here at Guthrie Lords. And the goal of that really is to provide community access for people to have genetic testing.
That's very important to us and the clinic, and making sure that everybody understands their risks for cancer and how they can prevent it or how we can capture it early.
It's not a scary process. It's usually either a blood draw or a saliva sample. So very straightforward.
All right, thank you. This was a wonderful conversation, important, and thanks for being here.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Now it's time for a check on the weather this afternoon. So we're setting it outside to meteorologist Connor Thompson, who joins us live on the weather deck built by Dan Brown Construction. And Connor, it looks like you haven't, hit any of the rain or sprinkles out there.
Yeah, we are looking at some pretty quiet conditions right now, but we are tracking a few showers here across the region. So overall, a decent stretch of weather is ahead for the region, but that doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet when it comes to dodging raindrops. Satellite radar is showing these showers dissipating. And I mentioned that this morning as well, that these were going to weaken as they moved into drier air. And the wider view shows that cold front slowly dissipating here. A few rain showers. I can't even still rule out a quick rumble of thunder, but overall, don't go canceling any plans outside that you might have. It's looking like it's going to be a rather decent day here across the region temperature-wise. Seeing temperatures in the 70s, some upper 70s as well. Vessel at 77, 77 in Green. Binghamton Airport's currently at 74. We're looking at 77 over in Margaretville, 73 in Stamford. Looking at around 75 up in Norwich. So the chance of rain over the next couple of hours here, you'll notice about a 20% chance. I do think that would be close to 30%, but really at that point, it's very isolated in nature, and we're not really overly concerned with that risk. But we are still tracking some rain showers for our Thursday here, a 40% chance. Again, going to be very similar to today. I don't think it's going to be a widespread concern, but keep the umbrellas handy, especially if you head out the door tomorrow morning. So let's take a look at future track. Well, you'll see, by this evening, looking at some quiet conditions here across the area. No concerns there. Heading on into tomorrow, though, we are looking at some increasing clouds. These clouds will bring the risk of seeing some rain just to the New York-Pennsylvania border. By around 3 o'clock, you notice then we are looking at more area-wide rain. It's going to be generally on the light side, and it kicks out rather quickly as well. So maybe during the evening commute, we will be dealing with these showers, but overall, it's going to be a quick hitter, and then we are looking at high pressure moving on in, giving us some sunshine for our Friday. It's going to be wall-to-wall sunshine here across the region, despite maybe a few high clouds across the area. So when it comes to rainfall, like I've been saying, it's probably about 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. We could see some localized higher totals by the end of day Thursday, but generally speaking, I do think we're looking at some pretty manageable totals here. Not going to be heavy, going to be light, going to be scattered in nature. So just keep the umbrella handy and just be aware that we may run into a few raindrops. And then as we head towards our weekend, we are still tracking the risk of seeing some showers here as another cold front swings through the region. At this point in time, a little too far out to really pinpoint exact details, but we are expecting to see some rain off and on, maybe a few rumbles of thunder as well as this cold front moves through, and then we are looking at much quieter conditions as we head on into the beginning of next week. So that's what we're dealing with as we head towards the weekend. As we head towards today, we are looking at those temperatures falling into the 60s and 50s overnight. Quickly looking ahead for tomorrow, starting off in the low 60s. I think this model undersells us still have highs in low to mid 70s as opposed to the upper 60s, but we're still going to be dealing with some very cloudy and cooler conditions, what we've experienced recently. 7-day forecast shows those rain shower risks for tomorrow. Looking at a nice day for our Friday, mostly sunny. Saturday looks nice as well, 78, mix of sun and clouds. Then we are dealing with those rain showers, maybe a few storms on Sunday, looking at highs in the mid 70s. And we are getting a taste of fall here as we head towards next week. Yes, the last full week of August, starting off more so like the early beginnings of September, talking about temperatures for Monday and Tuesday around 72 degrees. So overall, we are looking at a quiet weather pattern, but we are entering a cooler pattern here as we head on into the next couple of days. We'll be right back after the break.
Outfitter does showers? That's right. We offer a wide selection of beautiful and functional showers in all shapes and sizes. We can even convert your bath into a shower. For a limited time, take an additional $1,500 off your project, plus 0% interest for 18 months. Our remodels feature seamless walls installed in as little as 1 day, backed by our lifetime warranty. Take advantage of an additional $1,500 off, plus 0% interest for 18 months. This offer won't last. Call 833-367-2394.
Thousands of trucks travel this highway, and big trucks can cause catastrophic injuries. That's when you need the power of William Mattar. We fight for big money and big results. Hurting a car, only call William Mattar.
Today's weather is more unpredictable than ever. You can get away from this weather, but your house can't. If you don't have the right windows and doors, water could find its way in. Renewal by Andersen is the nation's best window and door replacement solution. We don't just build our own windows, we actually make our own window frame material. It's designed for extreme weather with the strength and insulation of wood and the low maintenance of vinyl. We call it Fibrex material, but you might as well call it magic. Why? Because our windows won't warp like vinyl. They're not going to rot like wood, and they're certainly not going to corrode like aluminum. Maybe they are magic. Ta-da! Right now, you can lock in some amazing financing. Get no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 12 months. Now, you don't want just anyone putting in your new windows. That can lead to a lot of problems. You know who installs our windows? We do. Our certified master installers are true craftsmen with years of experience. Remember, we're the replacement window division of Andersen, and Andersen's been around for over 120 years. We're not going anywhere. The other guys? Yeah, sometimes they disappear, especially if things go wrong. We will answer the phone, and we will come out if there's ever a problem. Protect your home from all this crazy weather and pay nothing for 1 year. That's no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 12 months. Plus, when you buy 2 windows or doors, you'll get the third one 60% off. That's 60% off. This offer ends August 31st. Call Renewal by Anderson to schedule your appointment. 607-341-4500.
Food allergy is a serious, life-threatening disease that impacts over 33 million Americans. But here's the good news. There have been advancements in the treatment of food allergies. Talk to an allergist to understand your options. Empower yourself, empower each other.
We are deeply honored to share the upcoming funeral details for people who made up the fabric of our incredible community. Thank you for celebrating their lives with us.
Finally at noon, it's a luminous and squishy first-of-its-kind attraction. People in Pompano Beach, Florida are floating to what's believed to be the first U.S. museum dedicated solely to jellyfish. According to its website, the private museum hosts up to 25 unique species of the translucent invertebrates from around the world. The graceful predators rotate through the gallery's 21 tanks. The museum says its mission is to educate visitors and build awareness about one of the world's oldest creatures.
So far, we know about around 4,000 different species that can be called a jellyfish. I also hope people are inspired with everything they see here.
The founders of the museum, Alex and Yana Yanofsky, have built several other successful ones around the world, including their first jellyfish museum in Ukraine. Those visuals are so cool you know what, I would stop by at a jellyfish. When you think about jellyfish museum, you know, what do you expect? Those visuals, so cool, really unique animal. That's going to do it for us here on 12 News at Noon. Thanks for joining us, and remember, you can always stay up to date with us on our website, WBNG.com, or our 12 News app. What a beautiful sky out there. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you at 3 for Around the Tiers.